Hello everyone, and welcome to our backyard. It's late afternoon, and I wanted to share with you our new garden bed that we just got planted. I'm super excited because this is our project that we had been thinking about really since last year. And we've added this garden bed just this week. And it is to match, as I switch over just a little bit, our garden bed over here with the brick. And so we did put in raised beds because of our clay soil. And I'm really excited about this one because I was able to raise it up both of the sets of bricks because we have a landscaping, some plastic landscaping edging along the side that will keep the soil in. And so I'll show you that back here. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to go through the plants with you that I've decided to include in this garden bed. And I'm going to show you their nursery tags. Just a tad bit of background. This area is pretty much in full sun. I'm in the shade now because I waited until late in the day to be able to tape this so it's better lighting for YouTube. But you can see in the back the sun is still out. But this will get shaded very, very late in the day. So it has, golly, 8+ hours of full sun. And all the plants in here are for full sun. And so some of them are new plants to me. Some of them are plants that I have planted before, but just didn't really have any space for them. And others are ones that I'd like to try and see what happens. So I'm going to start on this end, and I'm going to work my way over to the other end. So on this end, I have a little drift here of Salvia Neosa. I really like the color of this flower. I've had Salvia Neosa before. I've had a purple, and it did not survive. It lasted about 2 years. It was called April Nights, and it did not last for me. Through our drought and or winter. Maybe it was the double whammy of them both. But nemerosas are more of a dwarf salvia. You do plant them in full sun. It shows they need, oops, sorry. I have a little bit of a draft here. It shows they do need about medium water. Excuse me. And as you can see, they don't grow super tall, 10 to 12 inches high and 10 to 12 inches wide. And so you'll notice these are supposed to go through zones 4A through 9B. And I really liked this color in the nursery, and so I wanted to try this. Let's see if I can get this to focus here. There we go. It's just a really, really pretty rosy mauve-y color. And hopefully I'll have a little bit better luck with this stand of Salvia Neosa. I am going to be doing shortly a video of all of my salvias in the yard. I think I have 13 different varieties now. All salvia is just attracts pollinators like crazy. Bees and butterflies in particular like the Salvia Neosa. Okay, the next plant is back here. And I actually bought this plant in December. So was in his nursery container for quite a while, and he needed to get in the ground. You can see the real pretty purple color here. I'm going to show you this nursery tag. This salvia is called Love and Wishes. It is a part of that Make-A-Wish Foundation in Australia, where part of the proceeds of these wishes salvias go to that Make-A-Wish Foundation in Australia. This is supposed to be root hardy to zone 9, which is our zone, and we shall see. We've had some weird winters the last 2-3 winters, and so this says it is supposed to be covered from spring through frost with these gorgeous purple flowers. I hope that getting this in the ground now, I had this slated for this area and it needed to get in the ground. I hope that it can bounce back here. It doesn't look too bad, but it's you can tell it needed to get into the ground. Okay, next one. This next plant is a new to me plant, and this is Yarrow. I really liked the color of this Yarrow. This is a small Yarrow, so I have it in the front. Let me show you the tag. It is called New Vintage Violet. It's supposed to bloom in the summertime. Late spring through summer, plant in full sun. It needs well-draining soil, and it grows 12 to 14 inches tall. It's hardy from zone 4 to zone 9, and it says the blooms are in a long lasting season. I have seen the butterflies on the Yarrow. It's only got one bloom here, although another bloom is coming. Right down here. So this Yarrow is new to me, and I'm pretty excited to get it in the ground and see what it does. The next plants I have are Liatris, and Liatris is not new to me. I loved the Liatris that I planted last year, and what I've planted is this Kobold series. This is Blazing Star, and this is a Texas native. I really loved it. I was surprised, but none of them, I had 3 of them, and they did not survive in this garden bed. And this was also in full sun. I did have drip irrigation to it, but I think our winter just absolutely did a number on it, and it was not well established, I guess, and it did not last. So I want to try it again because I just really, really like this this flower. Butterflies are just so attracted, and the pollinators are so attracted to it. So let me show you the back of this. It blooms, it says late summer to autumn, but you can see that they're already coming up with their blooms. Full sun, it gets 24 inches high, space them about 18 inches apart, and in zones 3 through 9. And so the information on it says these are compact, shorter spikes, which is true. They're not the huge, tall Liatris that you see in a lot of cut flowers. It does best in well-drained soil, which this new bed is, and we shall see what it does in the garden. I'm excited because you can see it's going to bloom, and they'll bloom fine. I just would like them to come back. The next plant back here is new to me. I do grow a lot of porterweed, but I have never had a dwarf porterweed. And so this one happens to be, let's see if we can get it there, compact red porterweed. Planted in full to part sun. And it says it grows 12 to 24 inches high and the same in width. It is a tender perennial. So Hopefully, if we don't get too bad of a winter, it'll be able to overwinter. But this has been blooming gorgeously for me. So I do have it in a space. So I've got the Salvia, the Porterweed that does have room to spread out, which I've given it room. And so we'll see what that does in the garden. Next to it, or across from it, I have a Hotlips. So I bought this Hotlips Salvia in the winter, and December, January, and I was able to plant one in the pot, but in a larger container. But this one I had slated for this new bed, and you can see it has held its own. It's not doing the best, but we finally got it in its bed, and I'm going to show you the other one in the container. This Hotlips is in a nice large container, and it loves its life. And it is doing well. It's large. It smells beautiful. It has this nice bicolor flower. Pollinators are all over this Hotlips Salvia. So let me show you the tag on Hotlips. This is a Salvia microphylla. It blooms from middle of spring to middle of fall. It shows the hummingbirds like it. Plant in full sun. Grows 30 inches high and about 24 inches apart. Zone 7 to 9. This says it's two-tone, red and white, but as the season warms, it goes to red, and then when the nights cool in the fall, it goes back to the two-tone of white and red. So those of you in the south, do you see that with your Hotlips Salvia? I kind of found that fascinating. Okay, and in the back, I've just got regular dill. The reason I have dill in this bed is I've grown dill before. Dill grows very well down here, grows well lots of places, but it is a fabulous butterfly host plant, which in the north bed I have tons of fennel, but I did want the host plant in this bed also, and it is the host to the eastern black swallowtail, and so I wanted to have just a couple of host plants for that. All right, next up we're going to look at these coneflower. So I have had coneflower in different parts of my garden, in the north and the north bed and the south bed, and I have had both the powwow wildberry and the Cheyenne spirit. These are the Cheyenne spirit coneflowers. They do bloom from early summer through fall. Butterflies love coneflowers. That's a reason why I did want them in the garden. And now that I've had them a little bit, I do believe these two are the Cheyenne spirit, and I do think that is a powwow wildberry. One of the things that I have had happen to me before in the nursery is I think people pull out the tags and accidentally put them in the wrong plants. At least I hope it's accidentally, but I will see. But that to me reminds me of the powwow wildberry. I did not want that here. So I might have to dig that up if I can find another Cheyenne spirit. But I lost my Cheyenne spirit that I grew last year. And you'll see the hardiness zones are from 4 to 10. So the winter shouldn't have done it in. Our summer shouldn't have done it in, but it might have been the combination of them both. I don't know, but they didn't come back. So I did want to plant this in the new bed. I really liked this color, and I liked how tall they got. Oops, let me show you that. It does grow taller, and it's 18 to 30 inches, and so I was just hoping to get all 3 of these Cheyenne Spirit, and we shall see. This salvia only has 1 bloom that's blooming at the moment. It's got more that's coming. But this is another one of these wishes salvia, and it is called Embers Wish. They're bright coral flowers from pinkish brown buds, bloom spring to fall. Put it in full sun to part shade, and you'll see it does grow pretty large. So Embers Wish, I got at the same time. I've had it for a long time. These 3 salvias that I finally got in the ground. And they are looking a little bit more tough, that they didn't really enjoy being in the pots, in their nursery pots, as long as they were there. But hopefully now that they're in the ground, they will start to flourish. Let me show you the 3rd wish salvia that I have, and I have that in a container. This one is called Wendys Wish, and it is a gorgeous blooming salvia, and it loves its life. I've had this since about, sometime in beginning of November, and I did protect this through the winter when we did freeze, and it just loves its life. So I'm hoping that, and this is also part of that Make-A-Wish Foundation, these wishes salvia from Australia. I am hoping my 2 salvias that I have in my new garden bed are going to be as lush and gorgeous as Wendys Wish is here. And then on this side of the bed, I have Tithonia. And Tithonia I planted last year from seed, and because they were out of the seed packets, I got a very large seed packet from Johnny's Selected Seeds. This is the Mexican sunflower, Tithonia rotundifolia. And this Mexican sunflower, this is actually one my sunflowers from last year. They just bloom beautifully, and the butterflies absolutely are drawn to this flower. I don't find the foliage necessarily beautiful, but because of how it performed in the garden last year, I just knew I need this in my butterfly garden every year. It was a fantastic nectar plant for a good, 5 months. And the reason is because it's self-seeded. I did not start these from seed. These all started from seed over there. It reseeded itself. And so what I did this early spring is I dug up the little seedlings, potted them in small pots, and protected them, and then planted them out in this garden. The reason I have them on this side is because they do grow tall. In fact, last year they grew taller than my fence. And so I've got my 5-piece trellis back here, which I have Cardinal Climber on. And I'm going to quickly go back there. The Cardinal Climber has sprouted beautifully. It's got its leaves and it's starting to climb, which is exciting. And we've got these planted and they grow up our trellises here. And this will get pretty lush every year. They grow over. I think I'll put at the top of the screen if you want to see a video of what the Cardinal Climber looks like. And they bloom just in time for our big hummingbird migration, the end of August, beginning of September. And they bloom easy for about 2 months. In the back, I do have a larger container with a pretty tall Roselia plant. And this plant flowers a red tubular flower, which is a favorite of our female hummingbird that has been with us for a couple of years. And so this plant, I have it in a container now in our new garden bed. And then on this side, I have more of our Cardinal Climber. And this happens to be left over. This was one of the very first plants that I planted, which is a Salvia Farinacea, which is a native here. And this plant keeps coming back each year. And I don't want to remove it because it is, again, a butterfly attractor. But it has survived in some tough, difficult situations, and it just keeps on coming back. So he stays there. So I have a couple of other plants that aren't a part of the bed, but they are near it. So I am going to comment on them. And I have this planter in a container, and you can see it is a petunia that is growing very vigorously. And I said I'd never get another petunia, but I just love the pop of spring color. And this is the Super Performer, the Super Vista, Supertunia Vista Bubblegum. And this does get very, very large. It grows so well for most people across the United States. Just gets big and bold and fills in. It does not do well for us in our summers. But you know what? For $9.99, I splurged and I got this for a pop of spring color. And so, you know, I just did it. It was so healthy and large. It was in a gallon container in the nursery. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. And it has brought a lot of joy. This pink and how it just prolifically flowers. It's been doing very, very well. And this back here was an impulse buy from Costco. This is a Delphinium. And I don't expect this to do a whole lot. But look at that bloom. Oh my goodness, look at the color. The blue and the purple or violet. That is absolutely stunning. It's huge. And it had so many bloom spikes on it that I thought, you know what? It's another impulse buy. But I don't think delphiniums grow very well here. They certainly don't do well in our horrible summers. But you know what? Guardian Blue. Oh, it is gorgeous. I just thought, you know what? I'm going to do this. This was a splurge for me. I just think that color, I don't know. It just spoke to me. Love it. And then finally there's this hanging basket. This was a Proven Winners hanging basket. And I have to say, the star of this has been this Superbena Whiteout. I have found I love this. So it does have a Calibrachoa in it. And then of course it has a Lobularia in it, or an alyssum. But this is the star. So I need it, and I think I want to use it as a ground cover for some of my beds. I just think this is an outstanding performer. Love this Superbena Whiteout. Isn't that beautiful? So anyway, thank you for joining me and indulging me on our new garden bed. You know, I've had some broken fingers here, and so I haven't been able to do a whole lot in the garden. I can work one-handed, but my wonderful husband has been such a wonderful help. He put in this garden bed, and I love it. I love the way it looks. I love how it fits in. I'm going to walk over this way with my other raised beds in the backyard, and I'm just so excited to see how well these plants perform. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again soon.